Pizza and Other Stinky Poems by Harriet Ziefert. Onions. Onions are round and yellow and smelly. No one would eat them with strawberry jelly. But cut into rings and fried up in batter, I'd eat them all day and get fatter and fatter. Lemonade. Lemons on parade, lemons on parade. Pay me just a quarter and I'll make you lemonade. Good evening, Mr. Soup. Good evening, Mr. Soup, Soup, Soup. You taste as good as ink. Good evening, Mr. Soup, Soup, Soup. You're awfully weak, we think. Yesterday, they told me you were Irish stew. Today you are back, and you taste like glue. Good evening, Mr. Soup, Soup, Soup. You taste about as good as... You taste about as good as ink. Whoever sausage a thing. One day a boy went walking and strolled into a store. He bought a pound of sausages and laid them on the floor. The boy began to whistle a merry little tune, and all the little sausages danced around the room. Ketchup. When you tip the ketchup bottle, first will come out a little, then a lot. Tomato. An accident happened to my brother Jim when somebody threw a tomato at him. Tomatoes are juicy and don't hurt the skin, but this one, unfortunately, was packed in tin. Watermelon. Once my watermelon was nothing but a seed. I put it in the ground and pulled up all the weeds. Watermelon, watermelon on the vine. Watermelon, watermelon, looks so fine. First came a sprout, then came a vine, then came a flower, and all of it was mine. Watermelon, watermelon on the vine. Watermelon, watermelon, looks so fine. I took you to the kitchen, put you where it's cold, cut you into pieces so you could be sold. Watermelon, watermelon on the vine. Watermelon, watermelon, looks so fine. One piece for the pony, one piece for the pig. Plenty for the family, because you grew so big. Watermelon, watermelon on the vine. Watermelon, watermelon, looks so fine. Fresh fish. You can smell fried, fresh fish. Fish fried fresh. Fresh fried fish. Fresh fish fried. Or fish fresh fried. However you cook it, it smells like fish. Sticky bun. Deborah Delora, she liked a bit of fun. She went to the baker's and bought a great big bun. She dipped it in molasses and threw it at her teacher. Deborah Delora, what a wicked creature. Peanut butter. There are 3 ways to get peanut butter off the roof of your mouth. One way is to shake your head back and forth. If that doesn't work, you could kind of whistle. If that doesn't work, you could scrape it off with your finger. There are 3 ways to get peanut butter off your finger. One way is to shake it off. Another way is to blow it off. And if that doesn't work, you can scrape it off with your 2 front teeth. There are 3 ways to get peanut butter off the roof of your mouth. Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, a lobster and some prunes, a glass of milk, a piece of pie, and then some macaroons. It made the busy waiters grin to see her order so, and when they carried Mary out, her face was white as snow. Chowder chat. Who put the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody answered, so she said it all the louder. Who put the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody answered, so she said it all the louder. Who put the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody answered, so she said it all the louder. Who put the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Hey, what kind of chowder is this anyway? Little Miss Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside her and said, What you got in the bowl, sweetheart? Pizza. Through the teeth and past the gums, look out, stomach, pizza comes. Potato chips. Charlie Chomp is munching chips. Salt and vinegar, salt and vinegar. Charlie Chomp has munched them. Charlie Chomp is munching chips. Really salted, really salted. Salt and vinegar, salt and vinegar. Charlie Chomp has munched them. Charlie Chomp is feeling sick. Charlie has a bellyache and ick. Ravioli. Ravioli. Yummy ravioli. Ravioli is the stuff for me. Do you have it on your sleeve? Yes, I have it on my sleeve. On your sleeve? On my sleeve. Ravioli, yummy ravioli. Ravioli, that's the stuff for me. Do you have it on your pants? Do you have it on your shoe? Meatball. On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese, I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed. It rolled off the table and onto the floor. Then my poor meatball rolled out the door. It rolled into the garden and under a bush, and then my poor meatball was nothing but mush. But the mush was so tasty as can be. Early last summer, it grew into a tree. The tree was all covered with beautiful moss and grew lots of meatballs in tomato sauce. So, when you eat spaghetti all covered in cheese, hang on to your meatballs and don't ever sneeze. Stew. When I found a mouse in my stew, I raised a great hullabaloo. Please don't shout, the waiter said, or the others will want one too. Pie. Oh my, I want a piece of pie. The pie's too sweet. I want a piece of meat. The meat's too red. I want a piece of bread. The bread's too brown. I'd better go to town. The town's too far. I need a trolley car. The car's too slow. I fell and stubbed my toe. My toe's got a pain. I'd better take a train. The train had a wreck. I nearly broke my neck. Oh my, no more pie. Ice cream. I scream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream. Burp. Better to a burp and bear the shame then squelch a belch and die of pain. Full. Here I stand all fat and chunky, ate a duck and swallowed a donkey. Show and smell. I found an apple. It was rotten. I put it where it couldn't be forgotten. A few days later, my teacher said, now it's your turn for show and tell. I didn't have anything for show and tell, but I did have an apple for show and smell. The end.